Hi, good morning all. So today I'll explain you about the remaining part of the OSI model. Yeah, in the last two lecture, I already explained about the OSI model. This is the third lecture. In this lecture, I will explain you about where router is working, where switch is working, where hub and bridge is working. Yeah, and end-to-end communication I will explain you. So suppose in the last lecture, I have explained about the OSI model. Yeah, there are 7 layers in the OSI model. This is the not live model. The TCP IP model is the live model. Yeah, it is not live model. Yeah, but the all documentation, all equipment are based on the OSI model. So we need to understand this one. Yeah. So in the live model is the TCP/IP model. So I I taught you about the router, switch, bridge, hub, modem. These are the devices I explained you. Yeah. So which layer, which device is working? Yeah. Because every layer, one device should and must be work. Yeah. Every means this is the functionality. Yeah. Like if in any building is created, so anybody is their own floor in any floors. Yeah, like fifth floor, some Fred is living, like sixth floor, Mike is living, ninth floor, Ram is living. Yeah, so similar like that, the router, switch, bridge, where they will work. Yeah, so if I'm creating a one kind of bucket here, this is the my bucket. Yeah, this is my bucket. Yeah, if I'm putting, suppose this OSI model, I bring like this. Yeah, in the top side, I will catch and I will put in this bucket. Yeah. So where which layer the routers and switches are flowing. Yeah. So the those do not having the memory, those do not having the memory, they are always in the bottom. Those having uh, the all visibility, all memories, they are laying on the top side. Yeah. So the hub is the electronic device. It is having the single collision domain, single broadcast domain. Yeah. So this is there is the no memory here. There is the no VSDL design or anything in hub. It is a simple electronic device. So if I'm pulling that OSI model in the bucket, so my hub hub in the bottom, my cables cables do not have any kind of memory. Yeah, and my modem is also not having any kind of memory. Yeah, connectors connectors, these are connector. These are sitting in the bottom. Yeah, these are sitting in the bottom. It means that these are sitting in the bottom. So this is the layer one, means this is the, there is the no memory, there is the no nothing they can perform. So these are the work at layer one. They are sitting in the bottom. But if I'm talking about the switch and bridge, yeah, switch and bridge, yeah, switch, switch and bridge, yeah, bridge. They have the memory, they have the multiple collision domain, yeah, but single broadcast domain, but they have the memory, the PLC and the VSDL language. We have written the program, the engineer written the program in the VSDL, and they configure the multiple collision domain. So they have the memory, they have the programming languages are uh, configured here. It means they have the some memory. Yeah. So that's why they are above on the hub and cables. Yeah. So it is work at layer two. Yeah. And for they have the memory, so some protocols is running here. So the protocol is Ethernet. I'll explain you about Ethernet in very deep. Ethernet, Ethernet. It is also work at layer two. Yeah. That is the protocol. In the past time, there is the PPP, SDLC, frame relay. These protocols are also working here. Yeah. But they are not in the network. They are outdated. So we cannot discuss on this protocol right now. In the WAN and the LAN, everywhere Ethernet is come in that picture. because it is provide the more bandwidth. Yeah, I'll explain you about Ethernet in the switching. It is very important protocol. So I'll explain you. So Ethernet is work at the layer 2. Yeah, and switch and bridge is also work, means these are the physical device. This is the protocol. Yeah, so physical device means switch and bridge are also working in layer 2, and inside of the Ethernet and sorry, switch and bridge, Ethernet protocol is running. It is also working in layer 2. Yeah, so everything is working on layer 2. But router having more capability than the switch, because router having the multiple broadcast domain, multiple collision domain. It means that the router, it is responsible for physical delivery. So router is laying, means they are sitting in the bottom. After that, the switch and bridge are laying, and after that, router will work. Yeah, and here is the protocol, is the IP protocol. It is also work in the layer 3. So routers working on the layer 3 and the IP protocol come in that picture. So IP is also working at layer 3. So this protocol means the IP is responsible for the the logical delivery. One protocol is also come here, MAC address. I'll explain you in the switching. That is responsible for physical delivery. It is also work at layer 2. Yeah, but I'll explain you in the next lecture, in the coming lectures, not next lecture, not in the next lecture, because in the next lecture I will start the subnetting part. So before we are clear the IP address, after that we go for the MAC address. Yeah. So at layer 3, the router is working. Yeah. And beyond this, in the top, those having the all the capability. Yeah. Those having those means the device having the all the capability, all the routing function, all the switching function, everything is available. That is called it is work at the top layer. That is called the firewall. Firewall, or I can say PC is also there, not R. Firewall and PC. Yeah, and PC. Both are working at layer 7. Yeah, they have the more capability, they have the more understanding. So the firewall and PC both are work at layer 7. Yeah. So if I'm pulling that OSI model in the bucket, so my hub, cables, modems, connectors are working at layer 1, and switch and bridge are working at layer 2, and the router is working at layer 3, and the firewall and the PC, they are working at layer 7. So this is the which layer, means during the interview, interviewer asks where router is working, where switch is working, where firewall is working. So that is the layers where the every device will work. That is the OSI model concept. But don't worry, the I will explain you about the multi-layer switch. Yeah, so multi-layer switch work in every layer, but the beginning of the every device, this kind of concept is built. Yeah, which device work on which layer. Yeah, so this is the OSI model concept, and it is not completed yet. Let me explain the end-to-end delivery, how my packet will communicate with the another packet, how the sender send the traffic, and how the receiver receive the traffic. That part, let me explain you. Suppose there are two PCs. This is the PC1. It is connected to the PC2. Yeah? PC2. The PC1 is my sender. This is the my sender. This is the my sender. And the PC2 is my receiver. PC2 is my receiver. So how the OSI model, the traffic will be flow. Yeah? So let me draw in the receiver side, the same OSI model in this side. Let me draw here. This is the physical layer. This is the physical layer. This is the data link layer. Data link. Yeah? And this is the network layer. Yeah? This is the transport layer. Transport layer. Yeah? and this is the session layer, and this is the presentation presentation, and this is the application. uh, application. So this is the layer 1, this is the layer 2, this is the layer 3, this is layer 4, this is layer 5, this is layer 6, this is the layer 7. So how my traffic is flow? Suppose I'm doing any kind of transaction. Yeah. So like any bank, let's for example, for any bank in India, there is the ICICI Bank is there. Many banks are there in the India. Our Phone Pay and GPay is there, Google Pay. So we whenever we connect on GPay, Google Pay, so we put the enter the money. Yeah, like 5,000 rupees I'm putting here. So I'm interacting with the application. Yeah. So my data in the plain text, I can see 5,000 rupees. Yeah. Or dollar, I can say. So 5,000 rupees it is in the text. It is in the plain text. Plain text. Yeah. It is in the plain text. Yeah. Like I'm sending some document to remote end. Like I'm sending some document to in India, Mumbai to Delhi. Yeah. So Mumbai to Delhi, I'm sending some document. So my document in the like my mark sheet, my BTech mark sheet, my engineering mark sheet. There are different documents are there. So I will collect them, and I will gather some document, and I will put inside of the parcel. Yeah, inside of the envelope. So envelope, so after I'm putting a document inside of the envelope and I pack them, after that, that is not called the envelope because my document inside of that envelope. So after that, that is called the parcel. That is called the parcel. Similar like that, the data I'm interacting with the application. Yeah. So here my data is coming here. Yeah. 5,000 in application layer. Yeah. 5,000 coming inside of the application. So application put some kind of header here. Yeah, header here, and application layer, HTTP is coming in that picture. HTTP, by the way, HTTP is not secure, but I will explain you about HTTPS. But right now we have explained, because HTTPS, there is the no protocol for the HTTPS. HTTP is protocol, but HTTP taking the service of SSL layer, after that its name change HTTPS. I'll explain you on onwards classes, but don't worry about this one. Right now HTTP is there. So it is my real data, and after that I'm putting the header. This is my header. So this is my header. So before the data, header is coming. Yeah, like inside of envelope, my mark sheet are there. So its name is changing. Yeah, and header, what I'm mentioning, to address and from address in the envelope. To and from address. So header is nothing else. Header given the information about the sender and the receiver. Yeah, header given the any kind of information about sender or receiver. So the header is HTTP. Right now HTTP not given any information about PC1 and PC2, but it is given the information that data should be fetched. Yeah, the data should be sending. So it is putting one kind of header here. So that is called the, after I'm putting the header, so that is called the data. Like inside of the envelope, I'm putting my mark sheet. So that is called the parcel. Similar like that, the it is actual data and it is the header. So that is called the data in application layer. Yeah. And I have already explained the presentation and session layer is the concept in the OSI model, but all three layer in the TCP/IP model or three layers called the application layer. So all three layers, it is called the data only. It means that in the presentation layer and session layer, it is this is called the data. Yeah. And once my parcel is coming to courier office, so the courier office person is having the some kind of bigger bucket. In this bucket, it will put my parcel, and it will put the another parcel which is sending for the particular destination. So that is putting the different address, yeah, and that is called the different name, that bucket. So that once it will come to the transport layer, so it is putting inside of the packet, it is called the data. And after that, in transport layer, there is the two protocol, TCP or UDP. So it is putting one kind of header here, TCP, or it might be UDP. It depends on the application. So it is putting the data. So my header, it is now my header is changed. Yeah. My header is now changed. Yeah. So the packet name will be changed. The parcel name will be changed. So that is called the, once the data come inside of this. Yeah. My 5000 and HTTP seated inside of the data. Yeah. And after that, new header come in that picture. So that is called the segment. So in transport layer, segments are working. Yeah. And once the segments are coming in the network layer, in the network layer, yeah, in the network layer. So here it is putting the TCP, UDP, whatever the header, any one of the header, TCP or UDP, the data come here. So it is sitting inside of the data, and the new in the network layer, source IP and destination IP putting here. So the new header come in that picture. This is the new header. This is also header. Yeah. So the new header come in that picture. So that is called the packet. Yeah. So in the network layer, the packets are working. Yeah. And my TCP and UDP are inside of the data, and actual data is also here, and the HTTP also coming here. Means every headers and every actual data are coming inside of the data, and after that, the new header come in that picture. That is the IP address. That is called the packet. Yeah. So in transport layer, segments are working. In the network layer, packets are working. Yeah. And application layer, that is called the data. Yeah. And once it will come to the data link layer, so my entire packet come inside of that packet. Yeah. Data. Yeah. Means inside of that data, IP address is there, TCP, UDP header, HTTP header, and the actual data is here. Yeah. And after that, in the data link layer, the protocol is coming here. I will explain you. Yeah. That is the MAC address. Yeah. Like IP address is responsible for the logical delivery, and the MAC address is responsible for the physical delivery. This is the different topic. I will explain you in the deep, in the very deep. I will explain you what is the format of the MAC address. Yeah, everything I will explain you. But right now, my target is basic information about the MAC address. It is responsible for physical delivery. If you, I in the last lecture, I given the example, IP address is similar to the receptionist. Yeah. And MAC address is responsible for physical delivery. So it is responsible for the like physical delivery, but it is, if I'm compared with the real time scenario, so it is compared with the physical delivery boy. So MAC address is physical delivery boy, and IP address is the receptionist. Yeah. So entire packet come in this data, and after that, here I'm putting the source MAC and destination MAC. Source MAC this one, destination MAC is this one, but I'll explain you later on. So my entire data is coming here, MAC address is there. So in the network layer, that the header is changed. So in the data link layer, that is called the frame. That is called the frame. And my frame is coming to the physical layer. So here it's a bits and bytes. Bits and bytes. In next class, I will explain you what is the bits and bytes. But bits and bytes means 1010. 1010. It means that it is coming to computer, all the layer it will cross. Yeah. my application is situated in the PC. So it is interact with the PC, means application. After that, my data is coming to the transport layer. It is taking the service of TCP and UDP. After that, the source IP and destination IP put it here. Data link layer is here. MAC address are putting here. After that, the physical layer, it will come. Then my data is converted into 1010. Yeah, it is converted into bits and bytes. Yeah, and then sent to the cable, sent to the cable, and it is coming to receiver 1010 format. Yeah, whatever the format is there. So my it is received by the physical layer 1010. It means it is come in bits and bytes. I'll explain you what is the difference between bits and bytes, but bits and bytes is a binary number. In the next lecture, I'll explain in the deep when I will explain you about the IP address. On that time, I will explain you bits and bytes. So it is come to the PC, bits and bytes, and it is sending to the data link layer. Means data link layer is also situated inside of the PC, nothing in the outside. Yeah. So it will come into bits and bytes. So here is the my MAC address is putting here. Yeah. And my actual data is coming here. Yeah, that is called the frame. Yeah, that is called the frame. Yeah, in layer 2 it is called the frame. Yeah, so once it will receive by the receiver PC, suppose some parcel is my friend sending some parcel to me, so I will open that parcel. Yeah, first I will cut down the parcel. Yeah, I remove the header and I see what is the inside of that header. Yeah, inside of that packet. Yeah, what is the actual data I will see. But right now this is coming here, so the data link layer is only can see the MAC address. It is the layer 2 header, so it will remove this one. Yeah, after that my packet is coming to the network layer. Yeah, here is the data, and here is the source IP and destination IP. It is at layer 3. Yeah, so then network layer is can remove the IP address only, layer 3 address. It will remove the layer 3 address. After that, my packet come to the transport layer. Here is the my data, actual data is there, and here is the TCP UDP header are there at layer 4. So transport layer can remove. This is called the segment here. So transport layer remove the layer 4 header. Yeah, because it can see the segment only. Yeah, not beyond that. After that, the packet coming in these 3 layers. So in these 3 layers, my HTTP header is there and my actual data is here. Actual data means 5,000 rupees. Yeah, 5,000 rupees. That is called the data here. So application layer, all 3 layers can remove this one. Yeah, at layer 7 header. Yeah, this is the layer 7 header. After that, application display the 5,000 rupees to the receiver. So receiver can see 5,000 rupees come in their account. So sender sending the plain text, receiver receive the plain text. Yeah, that is called the end-to-end delivery, or I can say host-to-host delivery, or I can say once the PC is sending the data, how the receiver receive the data in the logical model. So this is the logical model. The my motive is that I'll explain you end-to-end delivery, but here in the interview, the interviewer asked in the transport layer which packet is working or segment is working. So in transport layer, segments are working, or I can means interviewer can ask segment segment work on which layer. So segment work at layer 4. Packet work on which layer? Packet work at layer 3. Yeah? And frames are working at layer 2. So my target is that once the packet come in the transport layers, that is called the segment. Once the packet come to the network layer, that is called the packet. Once the packet come to the layer, that is called the frames. So my target is to explain about this part. Yeah? So that is the OSI model. And in the next lecture, I will explain you very important topic that is called the subnetting. And I'll explain you the basics of subnetting, hexadecimal, yeah, binaries, octet. This part I will explain you in the next lecture. So bye for now. We will see you in the next lecture. Thank you so much.